The lawnmower won't start. Let's get it running. Hello, and thank you for stopping by. Today, this lawnmower was dropped off, and the complaint is it won't start. The owner told me if he sprays a little bit of gas into the carburetor, she'll start up. So we can see now it's not starting. Gonna bring it over to the table and take a closer look. Come on over. Before I get it on the table, I'm gonna try something. I already see a couple of issues over here. I'm gonna remove this cover, and I'm going to try my drill method where I'm going to use a power drill to spin the engine, and I'm going to spray some gas directly into the carburetor to see if she kicks over. If she kicks over, I know I have spark and I know I have compression. So let me remove this cover, get that drill, and see if she's going to turn over. Let's see. This carburetor is loose. It's something when you come in behind someone else. So with this carburetor loose, it wouldn't run because it'd be sucking in all kinds of air in the back over there. Okay, let's see what we have here, if anything now. He said he sprayed gas in and he pulled it and it started. Let's see how accurate that was. Okay, got plenty of gas in there. Got the drill. Got that belt, John?
Yep.
Okay, hold on to it. And when I say let go, okay?
All right.
All right. Gonna try it one more time. She fired up.
So we know
we have compression. We know we have spark. And I did check the gas that's in here. It smelled fresh, and the oil was up to the right level, and the oil was actually clean. Now, this isn't something that I recommend. I do it. I don't recommend it. You can get hurt doing this. As a matter of fact, when this took off now, to hold the camera, I was holding this with one hand and it did give me a little kink in my wrist. But we're going to try it one more time. Let's see if it'll stay running. Got it, John?
Yep.
Okay, so you can let go, John. Thank you. So the way this fired up, I'm going under the premise that this carburetor has to be cleaned out. Gonna get this up on the table, pull this carburetor out, see what we have. Okay, I have it up on the table now, and there's just two 10mm nuts that hold the air filter housing on. But this had some monkeying around going on back here. See, this is pretty dirty. I don't know why this is so rusty over here. But this wire coming here has this tape. I'm pretty sure this is in factory. Let's see what we have. This definitely is in factory. Okay, I see what happened here. This machine was really beat up. This piece was broken, and they put this piece of copper in here, taped it to this. This must go to the air vane. Let's take a look. Oh, and another thing, before you start working on these, as a safety factor, remove the spark plug wire. Let's see what we have. Look at this, how this is all cracked up over here. Man, it's like they dropped this out of a truck. All right, let's see. I haven't seen this configuration before. This is an older unit. This is a new one for me. That copper wire that was taped to the carburetor is off this vane over here. So I guess this works like the air vanes that are generally over here. As the engine revs up, it blows it open and it controls the throttle. Well, this one works this way. As the engine speeds up, pushes it forward, and that's how it controls it. And their attempt was to link it to this, and I wonder if there's a piece here that we can glue, or if I could purchase this piece. The engine's fairly clean. There's no crud in here, no mouse nest. all in all, it's clean all around. Just looks like it was beat up. And another thing, this is one of the reasons I used the drill and the gas method before I got it up here. I noticed this was wired. This is your governor control, which controls your carburetor. And try not to shake this camera when I'm doing this. This was wired up. I'm assuming, you know what they say when you assume, I'm assuming this was wired back to give it maximum throttle because they weren't getting what they needed. Okay, this looks like it's adjusted right. There should be play in here. This shouldn't be stiff. It should be play just the way it is. So because this wasn't running right, again, I'm assuming they tied this all the way back to keep the throttle wide open. Johnny, could you come over here, hold this for me? Hold it just like that. I have Johnny, he's going to be my cameraman for a little bit here. So this carburetor, we're opening it up. This should come all the way, and this should pop right off. It should. Let's see. We have a gasket over here. Is that gasket showing, John? Okay. A pretty stiff gasket. Hard plastic. Okay, you got, am I in focus? Keep me in, okay? So I'm going to pull this out. No, we're not. Okay. Let's see here now. That's turned like that. This should turn and this should pop right out. The spring is easy to get out. Want to remember to put this little spring in. As tiny as the spring is, it has a purpose. I'm going to remove this fuel line, get something to capture the fuel, and then I believe I'll be able to slide this out and pop it off, and then we'll open up this carburetor and see what it looks like on the inside. But if I had to guess, here's where the problem is inside this carburetor. Have the carburetor off, and just as in all my other videos, I'm going to clean the outside of this before I open it up. Two reasons. One, it makes it a lot easier to work on, and two, once you open this up and you clean the inside, you don't want the debris from the outside just falling back in. So I'm just using a little old gas that I have here. Going to brush it all down, open it up, and we'll take it from there. I'm just going to remove the camera so I don't get any of the gas or the grease splashing on the lens. All right, a few minutes with the toothbrush and some gas, and we cleaned her up. Another advantage of cleaning it up, I didn't even notice there was a spring over here before. So you get to see parts of this carburetor you probably wouldn't have seen. And if you have to order any parts, you'll be able to find a number or a name someplace on here. There's something here, I just can't read it right now. I don't know if the camera's getting it. So I'm going to open this up. And you know, I was asked one time, what do I do with the old gas? I said, what do I do with the old gas? I never have enough of it. Remember, the theme of this channel is repair, recycle, repurpose, reuse. I use carburetor cleaner on the inside to blow out all the jets and the ports and everything. But I do use the old gas to clean the outside. And like I mentioned, I never have enough of it. Oh, here we go. Boy, they tighten these things down. This is the second one I had that was tight like that. Let's see what this gas looks like on the inside. I tried to keep some of it in the bowl just to see what it looks like. It's getting dark. I'm gonna have to wrap this in. Oh man, that gas smelled pretty decent when I smelled it from the tank. No, that doesn't smell decent at all. Ooh, and look what's in there. I don't know if the camera's picking this up. I should have had a glass jar. Look at this. You see all that debris on the bottom? I don't see any water in here, which is good. But look at that. Look at all that dirt. Is the camera picking up that dirt? I can't tell. Down in here. So this is definitely clogged somewhere on the inside. Let's see, we'll pull. Let's get this, just dump it in here. We'll use this to hold all the parts. Now this came out fairly easy, so that wasn't clogged up in there. There's your needle valve. I have to get the emulsion tube out of here. And on quite a few of these carburetors, they have a jet that's down in here. This right here is the adjusting screw for your idle. You have to screw this completely out, and this jet that's down in here pops out. In my last video up above, I had the hardest time cleaning that jet out. Well, we'll see what this one looks like. The next step in cleaning out this carburetor is to remove the jet that's in here and the emulsion tube. The jet in this carburetor has threads and you need a screwdriver to get it out. Before you get it out, you want to be careful. You want to make sure the screwdriver is wide enough to fit in that slot. This is brass and it strips real easy. And you want to make sure the screwdriver is thin enough to fit down into this channel. A regular screwdriver will fit in, but it's a little narrow for this slot. They do have a specialty screwdriver. I'll look it up. I'll put the link for it down below. Or you could get a screwdriver that's wide enough for this and just grind it down on your grinder. Keep it exclusively for your carburetors. Once you get this jet out, you can see this is partially clogged. You can see a little daylight going through there. So we'll clean this jet out, and behind the jet is the emulsion tube. This has an opening from the bottom to the tip. This is where the gas is being drawn into the carburetor, and it has all these tiny holes up the sides. You want to make sure all these holes are cleaned out. I'm going to clean this out with my wire. I'm going to spray out in here. Oh, this is something I pointed out in other videos, but if you haven't seen them before, you want to make sure you clean out all these passages. This right here I can see is clogged. You want to poke and spray in here. On this side, there's an opening right here you want to clean out. And there's usually three, there they are back here. There's 3 holes back in here. I don't know if you can see them. And this one has another jet down in here. The screw I'm removing is just for your idle. And the only reason I'm removing this screw is to get this jet out. Pop this out. And you want to make sure this jet is clean. Alright, so I'm going to finish cleaning up this carburetor, reassemble it, mount it back onto the engine, and then go fire her up. I have the carburetor cleaned out. I'm ready to install it back onto the engine. Just showing you the after. You knew what it looked like before. This is all cleaned up. I was having difficulty cleaning out this particular jet. I don't know why it was so hard to clean out. I had to use those micro drills, just like in the video before. Same jet, same location, same problem. So if your unit isn't running right, I would go to this first thing over here. Anyway, I cleaned it all up. Bowl is as clean as it's going to get. Now here's something interesting. I pulled this gas tank off to wash it out, and I washed it out with water. Let it sit in the sun for the afternoon to dry out. I noticed the water was coming through this line a little slow. So I checked the fuel line out. The fuel line was okay. With the fuel line off, the water was still coming out of this tank a little slow. So I was looking to see if there was some kind of blockage here. And this is something that's pretty unique. Inside this tank, there's an actual gas filter. So if you have this particular model, remove the gas line, pull out this gas filter, drain the tank, clean this up if it needs to be cleaned, and reinstall it. This is just a little tip. If you find your fuel flow a little on the slow side, you might have one of these filters in there. The carburetors are already installed, and remember that little spring I told you? It has to go back on. When that little rust that was on that spring, well, that spring actually broke. Of all the mowers I have laying around, I don't have that spring. I'm going to have to order a spring for this, but I should still be able to start it once the gas tank is connected. The carburetor's mounted, there's gas in the tank, and I'm starting this with the drill because I don't have the cover on. So we want to see if it starts and if it stays running. Let's give it a spin and see what we have. problem now. When I released the bail, this didn't shut off. What happened? I don't know. So I'm gonna have to take a look under here and see what's going on, because I had to pull the spark plug wire to get this to stop. The brake was touching, it is hot, but we didn't have a cutoff. Right, I found the cause of the no shut off on this. We have this piece right here that comes right back to the coil. Well, it was pushed down and it wasn't making full contact with this piece up here. Once this would touch, it would short out and kill the engine. In this case, it wasn't happening. The remedy for this was just to bend this up a little bit, and I'm gonna hit it with a little sandpaper to clean it off, reconnect the spring, and I'm good to go. I have the lid off that I'm gonna make the repair. I can't find another one of these. There might be one online. If anybody sees it online and knows where to buy it, post it in the comment. But I'm gonna try super gluing this on one side. On the other side, I'll try plastic welding it between the two, which should hold. I have to replace the spring that goes under here. When I find it, I'll have a link for it down below in the description if you should need one. And all in all, this is a solid mower. The deck is solid all the way around. One of the best ones I've seen so far. The only thing I could figure is that this got the beans beat out of it and they couldn't get it started. It was a gas problem, a carburetor problem, and they just decided, well, push it off to the side. It was given to me to work on, but then they took a working mower I had for this and they gave me another one. So I got two mowers for one, but the one I gave was a strong mower. I don't know if I got the short end on this or not, but either way, this is a wrap. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, let me know. Give it a like, it does help. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe. Hit that Joe Z button. And not to miss my new videos as I upload them, be sure to ring that bell. And until next time, stay safe.